WWE blocked Chelsea Green from working a GCW show. Plus, we have an update on Jade Cargill's injury status and is a controversial former TNA star returning to the company. Find out more on the news. Someone who I feel like we've been talking about quite a bit in the news recently. Advocating for this person to win the WWE United States Women's Championship, Chelsea Green. According to a report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE, however, reportedly shot down an idea for Chelsea Green to team with her husband Matt Cardona to face Joey Janela and Megan Bayne at their Hammerstein Ballroom show on January 19th. What do you make of this, Sam?
We've been seeing the walls crumble down a bit. We've seen, Ludwig Kaiser turn back up in WXW. We're seeing people kind of go back to independence that they are close to, but it's still no real surprise in my book that WWE are like, no.
I'm of two minds, because obviously we've seen WWE talent turn up at GCW Bloodsport as well quite recently. I think maybe it's more to do with perhaps scheduling stuff. I believe that the 19th of January is a Thursday. SmackDown's on a Friday. If WWE as well, if they do have Chelsea pick up the
this is the other thing,
Women's United States Championship, obviously you want, to showcase that belt in other companies and whatnot as well. But if they maybe have like a long sort of idea of a program for Chelsea, if they don't want it to get injured, don't want it to necessarily drop the title so soon or vacate it in any kind of way, I can see that being a thing as well. And I don't know if it runs like super deep or anything like that. But I
think you're right, though. I think it's one of those things where, hopefully it looks like she's picking up the title, and you just want to avoid absolutely any chance of anything, right? If you've got a program planned out, it could potentially be that. It could just be the scheduling, as you said. It could be a lot of things, but ultimately, I don't think I'm very surprised that WWE aren't willing to kind of go, So it's just the expected behavior at this point for me.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to stick with GCW on the GCW side of things. What a segue, everybody. We've also heard in the news quite recently, Willie Mack has been here and there about the GCW show. He was pulled. Was he pulled? This, that, and the other.
Was it himself? Was it AEW?
Yes,
what's going on? There was all that back and forth. There was AEW running the Hammerstein, really close to GCW running Hammerstein for the second time and trying to right the wrongs of the first show. And it's all very tense.
It was. There was a lot of conflicting reports out there. However, although he's not doing the GCW stuff, he's now set to return at least to Ring of Honor programming at Final Battle next weekend. He's going to be challenging for the ROH World TV Championship in a survival of the fittest match, I believe, right? Get the hat on, Sam. Are you ready for this?
Hat. Okay.
I've already got a hat on. AR Fox is in that match. Blake Christian's in that match. Mark Davis is in that match. Brian Cage is in that match. And Commander is also in that match as well. That's a big old stacked bad boy right there.
A lot of variance. It's going to be good.
It's going to be very good. And do you know what? Even if Willie Mack's not going to be on the GCW show, it's nice to see him, that he's being utilised in some other way, and that he's going to be on this show.
Put into a prominent position, and hopefully he's going to be able to capitalise on it and grow from there.
Completely agree. Oh, I can't wait for that one. We are moving over to the WWE side of things now, and we have an update on Jade Cargill's injury status. According to WrestleVotes on Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass, Jade Cargill is currently listed on WWE's internal injury list. A source within WWE has told them that the company doesn't usually use these internal lists for storyline purposes. Obviously, recently, there's conflicting reports again. People saying she is definitely injured, others saying she's not.
It was around the time it all started. Obviously, it was the car park attack. She was found just absolutely put through a windshield in the car park. And it was one of those like, it's an injury. They always write people off with injuries in the car park. And then it was like, no, it's political. There's backstage things going on. So there was a lot of like rumor and hearsay flying around, but I guess if she's listed internally as injured and they're not using those lists to further kayfabe or anything, then she's injured. So hopefully whatever it is, it's something that should be bounced back quickly from.
Fingers crossed. And this was also reiterated by the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which states that those at the highest level in WWE have claimed she is injured, and she's currently seeing WWE doctors and medical professionals. I believe like around when it was first announced that she was injured, people were like, it could be 3 months, it could be a little bit longer. Hopefully a Rumble return, as as long as she's healthy to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, at least she's got something storyline-wise to sink her teeth into when she comes back because of the attack stuff. I think that's always good when they sort of like set these things up so that when someone does come back, they don't
There's
necessarily
something they can throw to, and it's not just throwing somebody straight back in the deep end. Now, sometimes obviously you're going to want to do that if you're rebranding somebody or whatever, but I think with Jade at the level she's at in her career in WWE, we need that first big storyline for her. I think it's been kind of not training wheels, but it's been very like kind of straightforward
I think
up
it's
to this
safe
point.
to say. Yeah, I
think it's we need to sort of step out into something a bit more different. So hopefully when she returns, we'll get that solo push and we get to see what Jade can do.
Yeah, I'm really excited because if she does return, if she was to return in the Rumble, I'd kind of want Bianca to be the one to throw her out.
Oh,
I kind of like the idea that Bianca is behind the attack.
It'd be a new side to Bianca as well.
Yeah,
so
which would be really cool to see. I would be super, super excited to see that. This one's different, Sam.
Just a little bit.
This one's different. Adam Copeland, everybody, is nominated for an Emmy. Would you like to tell the people about this one?
Yeah, he's been nominated for an Emmy for his performance in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians Disney Plus series. Get Disney Plus now. He was nominated for a Children and Family Emmy Award in the Best Supporting Performer category for his portrayal of Ares.
Now, do you know what? And I feel bad about this.
Yeah.
I've not really seen him act much in things before.
He
I know
was
he did
in
Vikings, right?
yeah.
And apparently people were buzzing for that.
Yeah.
Not seen the Percy Jackson stuff. Obviously, we've seen what he can do in a storytelling capacity in wrestling.
Just be really in shape and play a Greek god, but be kind of humbly.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, got it, sweet, no bother. Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Fingers crossed. I mean, if he gets an Emmy, that's massive.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Another thing to put on his shelf of accolades.
Yeah.
What a guy. Well, maybe not quite as a happy one, this next one. All right, everybody. There's a controversial former TNA star possibly returning to the company. Now, per a report in the Wrestling Observer newsletter by Dave Meltzer, Tessa Blanchard is believed to be signed a new deal with TNA and is expected to return to the company to work a program with Jordynne Grace ahead of Grace's expected exit from the company at the expiration of her deal. Blanchard, currently one half of the CMLL Women's Tag Team Champions with Juvia, and has been absent from the promotion for the last few weeks. Could we be witnessing a LOL TNA moment happening very soon?
I'd like to think that they wouldn't bring Tessa back without kind of ironing everything out. It was a very messy situation. Again, there was a lot of rumor, there was a lot of hearsay going on, there was a lot of very, very public kind of stuff that was brought to the front, and it's shocking. It was not the name I was expecting to see back under a TNA banner, but it would maybe make sense in terms of if Jordynne Grace is leaving to have that kind of storyline to tie it off with Jordynne Grace. But I don't
know, because I feel like if TNA, if this is TNA's idea of having someone step in to fill those Jordynne Grace shoes, I think that's on TNA for not building someone to do that within their current roster that they've got right now.
Exactly, and I think that you can't replace Jordynne Grace either. No. So you don't just replace Jordynne Grace with somebody who's just you're gonna put into that vacuum. I think you need something different. Only time's gonna tell really on this one, but I think it's definitely one of the wilder bits of news I've seen recently. Yeah,
and it's one to keep an eye on as well, and we will keep you up to date when we hear more too. As for this weekend, it's Saturday night's main event. Adam Pacitti, the leader himself, he will be live reacting to that over on youtube.com/cultaholic/live, so look out for that. Sam's like, get in there, send him messages of either niceness or not
Ask
niceness.
Him about fish.
Ask him about fish.
God, what a poor bugger.
But that is it for your lovely news of the day. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've joined us in the previous ones as well, it's very much appreciated.
If not, go back and watch them.
Do it.
Go on. There's 2 whole slabs of news there before this one.
Look at that. Do we just keep providing for everybody? I'm off now.
Crack open a nice fresh can of news.
That's the one. Right, we're off now. I think you've had your daily fill now. We're getting delirious. It's time to go. But thank you so much, everybody, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you very soon.
Bye.